Every year, tennis brands find a new way to price your fear back to you. A company hears the words tennis elbow, sore shoulder, or getting older. Something changes, not the product, just the number on the tag. Today, we are naming 5 specific brands doing exactly that to senior players. We have real pricing, real research, and in one case, a real federal case. By the end, you will know exactly what to check before you spend another dollar protecting your game. ProKennex built its entire racket line around one promise: protecting your elbow. Their kinetic technology is marketed as the scientific fix for tennis elbow, and the company backs that promise by naming MIT's Sports Dynamic Lab and Cologne University, 2 names that sound impossible to argue with. Their Black Ace racket runs $249. Compare that to the Prince 03 Legacy 120, a Racket Tennis Warehouse's own listing says will tempt the senior doubles player, priced at $199, $50 less. Real reviewers in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s praise the Prince for being genuinely easy on the elbow. And it gets there using nothing exotic, just a bigger head and smart port design. Engineering you can actually see and understand. Here is the part that matters. Those MIT and Cologne study claims only exist inside ProKennex's own marketing pages. The same words repeated across the site, with no published study anywhere you can actually go find and read for yourself. That does not mean the comfort itself is fake. Independent playtesters confirm the kinetic feel is real. And if you have genuine diagnosed arm sensitivity, that feel might be worth chasing on its own merits. What it does mean is that the $50 premium over the Prince is not paying for extra comfort, since the Prince delivers plenty of that for less. It is paying for the name MIT sitting next to a price tag, aimed at the buyer least likely to go check whether the science behind it actually holds up. Naming a research institution is not automatically dishonest. Plenty of legitimate sports technology genuinely comes out of university partnerships. The difference here is that when you search for the actual published paper behind this specific claim, all you find is the same paragraph of marketing copy, sitting only on the brand's own site. The next brand took that same instinct much further. A federal court eventually had to weigh in. Copper Fit and Tommy Copper built an entire empire on infomercials, celebrity faces like Brett Favre and Jerry Rice, and shelf space at Walmart, CVS, and Target. All of it promised one thing: an easy fix for aging joints that requires no doctor and no waiting room. Tommy Copper paid $1.35 million to settle FTC charges. The charges were for falsely claiming its copper-infused garments could relieve chronic pain from arthritis, MS, and even fibromyalgia. Those are conditions that deserve real treatment, not a sleeve. That settlement came out of a proposed judgment worth up to $86.8 million. Most of it was suspended because the company agreed to pay up front. The products themselves, the FTC noted, were priced between $29.95 and $69.50. A 2013 University of York study found copper provided no meaningful benefit beyond a placebo for rheumatoid arthritis symptoms. Copper. Fit itself has faced separate class action lawsuits over similar claims since. Better Business Bureau complaints describe buyers who felt ripped off after purchasing in good faith. This is not a small company nobody has heard of. Tommy Copper ran national television ads for over a decade, and Copper Fit still sells through some of the biggest retailers in the country. The compression itself can offer mild, generic support, same as any sleeve on the market. But the extra money you spend for the word copper is paying for the one claim on this list with zero evidence behind it. It is also the only one a federal court has already rejected. Copperfit and Tommy Copper got caught because the claim was medical and the money was enormous. The next brand never had to face a courtroom. The claim it makes is small enough and common enough that almost nobody thinks to question it. Gamma is one of the most trusted names in tennis equipment. Their vibration dampeners are marketed as actively protecting against harmful vibrations that may lead to tennis elbow. It is a small rubber piece that sits in your string bed. It feels like it should be doing exactly what the packaging promises. Independent research says otherwise. A study out of the University of Birmingham, along with earlier work by researcher Francois Xavier Lee, found something different. String dampeners do not reduce the amount of racket frame vibration that actually reaches your forearm. They only quiet the sound the strings make on contact. This matters because the sound is exactly why so many players trust dampeners in the first place. A quieter hit feels like a softer hit, even when the frame is delivering the same shock either way. The lead researcher on that Birmingham study put it plainly. Dampeners stay popular because of their sound and the psychological comfort of using one, not because of any real mechanical advantage. If you play with a dampener to protect an aging elbow, the sound is genuinely quieter, but the shock traveling up the frame into your arm stays exactly the same. That raises a real question. What actually contributes to tennis elbow if the accessory marketed to prevent it does not? Studies on tennis equipment and overuse injury point toward different factors entirely. Prolonged, repetitive loading of the wrist muscles during play matters. So does the way a player stabilizes the wrist joint stroke after stroke. So does off-center contact on mishits rather than clean center strikes. Grip size, long assumed to be a major factor, actually matters less than commonly believed, according to research. None of this fits neatly onto a $5 rubber accessory or a colorful sleeve. That may be exactly why it rarely shows up in the marketing. A quiet rubber accessory making a small, unproven claim is one thing. The next brand puts that same kind of claim on something you wear against your skin and prices it like medicine. Bauerfeind built its entire reputation on the words medical grade. It markets that language straight at tennis elbow and arthritis sufferers, wrapped in a clinical, German-engineered feel. Independent medical sources are clear on one point. Plain compression sleeves, without a counterforce strap, have not been proven effective in research, full stop. The swelling these sleeves are designed to manage is not even a common symptom of tennis elbow in the first place. That means the mechanism is marketed at a problem most buyers do not actually have. Meanwhile, general market braces from Muller, ACE, and Body Procs typically run $10 to $20. They use the exact same compression mechanism for a fraction of Bauerfeind's price. To be fair, Bauerfeind's counterforce strap products, the ones with adjustable pressure, may offer a real mechanical edge. Plain sleeves cannot claim. That version earns its price more honestly. But the plain sleeve, the one most casual buyers actually reach for, is exactly where the medical grade language is hardest to justify. A senior player scanning a shelf sees the words medical grade next to a familiar diagnosis, tennis elbow. They reasonably assume the higher price reflects a proven treatment. What it actually reflects is the same compression mechanism sold $10 away under a different logo. Every brand so far has sold you a product for your arm or your racket. The last one puts the idea inside your shoe. It also does something none of the others quite do. It borrows an actual professional organization's name to make the claim feel official. Vionic markets its shoes as podiatrists designed biomechanical support. The pitch is that they ease foot, knee, and joint pain in aging players. Vionic prices its shoes well above a standard walking or court shoe on the strength of that claim. Much of that credibility rests on the American Podiatric Medical Association's seal of acceptance. It is a real seal from a real professional organization, founded in 1912. What rarely gets mentioned is how a product actually earns that seal. A company submits its own product. It pays a processing fee. It provides its own clinical or laboratory evidence to a private review committee. The association does not independently test competing shoes against each other. A shoe without the seal is not necessarily worse. It may simply belong to a company that never applied. Vionic also points to its own peer-reviewed study on heel pain as proof of effectiveness. That study was partially funded by Vionic itself, a fact the company discloses. The study compared Vionic's own sandals against Vionic's own orthotic insoles, not against a standard shoe. None of this makes the shoes actively harmful. Podiatrists really do recommend them. But the seal and the study are doing the same job the name MIT did for ProKinetics earlier in this video. Both take a real but self-chosen process and dress it up as independent proof. None of this means there is nothing you can actually do. The treatments with the most consistent evidence behind them are unglamorous compared to a sleeve or a certified shoe. Targeted eccentric strengthening exercises for the forearm work better than passive treatments over time, according to multiple studies. A genuine reduction in string tension or racket stiffness helps too, if your current setup is loading your arm. So does simply resting a flare up before it becomes chronic, instead of playing through pain and hoping the gear compensates. None of that comes in a box with a brand name on it, and none of it needs a subscription or a trip back to the same shelf. That is probably part of why it gets so little airtime compared to everything on this list, even though it costs less and does more. Every brand on this list is selling the same thing underneath the packaging. It is permission to believe that getting older does not have to mean losing ground on the court, as long as you are willing to pay for it. That hope is not dishonest on your part. It is not foolish or naive to want it. But hope is not a substitute for evidence. Every single claim in this video was checkable before you ever clicked Add to Cart. It was sitting in a court filing, a university archive, a professional association's own submission rules, or a published review, waiting for someone to actually go look. The players who stay on the court the longest did not find the right sleeve or the right rubber band. They are not the ones with the biggest bag of gear either. They are the ones who stopped paying for stories and started asking to see the study. So tell me which one you're still convinced is worth it, even after all this. Maybe it's the one you already own, or the one you wish someone had warned you about before you spent it. Drop it in the comments, because I can guarantee you are not the only one who bought it, and you will not be the last unless more people start asking that question.